Hello, everyone. I can't share that. Sorry. I wish I could share it. It would have been a hell of a blooper. I'd have to take the camera. Anyways, it's me, Scott. You know the guy that you occasionally stumble across here on YouTube. Yeah, it's getting warmer. People are starting to behave like it. But anyways, according to the title and the thumbnail of this video, there's so many of you out there that are probably catching on to what this is all about. Well, at least 5 of you at this point, maybe 4, because you're already tired of me looking at this. Scott, how do you choose? What do I do? And how do I get that H1? What is the perfect H1? NAG masks. I'm sorry. I'm just, you know what? Let's put it this way. I should have done this video probably about a good year and a half ago. And if I had $1 for every time this question or questions were asked, well, I'd have like one. I'd have, oh, I know there's a calculator app here somewhere. I'd have, carry the 2. Well, I'd have a few bucks. But seriously, this question's been asked quite a bit, even more so here lately. So get right to it, Scott. When you go to NAG Mass, how do I choose? I mean, your Castle 75K, how do I go? I mean, what is the most accurate one for you and all this? Well, guys, this is a very important decision for any of you, for any of us to make, okay? Now, if you won the lottery, then this video is not for you. You're going to buy them all. So don't waste your time here. Or either that, you're probably like me, you're picky regardless anyways on every dollar that you spend. This is exactly what I have done from the very beginning, okay? Just done my homework, done my research. Now, just go to NAG Mass at Facebook. That's the place to go look. Don't worry about a website, because I get that asked too, you know, with the link and all that. Website's not available right now. That's a goal that's hopefully good, we're going to see down the road, but just don't worry about that. Just go to Facebook profile NAG Mask. Okay, now I'm going to answer the one that you're getting ready to ask, Jimmy. Or Timmy, sorry. I get the Timmys and the J's and the T's confused. But I don't have Facebook. Well, I guarantee you this. There's a very good possibility that there's someone that you know, probably not from the guy that drove by, he probably doesn't have Facebook, but someone who's over there has got Facebook. You know who I'm talking about. Your best friend, your girlfriend, or your wife or husband, or your dog. Chances are one of them has Facebook. So just go borrow their phone or their computer, get on there, you know, and just start looking and at the, you know, NAG Mask, and you're like, where's that at? How do I find that? In the description box below this video, okay, like all the other links that I usually share in every video, like my subscribing. Hey, you like this? Subscribe to this, you know, the t-shirts, even my new Patreon, you know, that I've started. All 2 of you, all my 2 subscribers. Hey, Ryan, hey, Chris. Shout out, you know, I'm supposed to do that, right? Those 2 know who they are. We talk quite a bit. But anyways, and I'm not going to get into that. If you want to support me, then you know what to do, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about this. This is more important. You're now down there. You clicked on that link. You go to NAG Mask on Facebook, and then you're searching through all those photos, just photos, keyword photos, and you see all these images, all these photos, and you're like, oh my God, oh wow, that's it. That's it. Well, after about 4 of those ooh-ah-ees, you know what I'm talking about? Save those 4 photos. Now, make sure you did it the very first one, because you don't want to go back and try to find it again. But save every one of those photos. Now Nick's not going to mind, okay? Those are his photos. You're using this as a reference, okay? Now, you're like, wait a minute. I borrowed, you know, someone else, my dog's phone, his Facebook thing. Well, then just transfer the photos over to your phone, or just ask your friend or your dog if you could save those photos. I'm sure they're not going to mind, you know, on their phone. Okay. So, okay. So anyways, you've now got it down to 4. Now, here's the next thing that I highly recommend that you do. Instead of just messaging, you know, Nick at NAG Mask right away, sleep on it. Sleep on it. Or if anything, maybe take a few days. And then you'll realize after maybe a good night's sleep or a few days, there's that one particular photo that did it for you. That one that you're just drooling at most of the time. The one that's capturing your attention most of the time. In fact, you visualize that being your mask so much that you give it its own name. You know, like a person that owns a boat, you know, like, oh, that's my Mustang Sally. That's my Xanadu. Or that's my Bob. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the one that you got to have. So there you go. Now, I know that seems so simple. Believe me, I know it does, but that's exactly what I've done. Now, I don't, that Castle 75K, it wasn't really that difficult for me to decide because I seen that. I had to have, I guess it had something to do with the castle, but there was just something about that. And I used the photo that Nick took and I used it as a reference. I seriously used that as a reference. Now, another thing that I highly recommend before you start messaging Nick. I know you're probably thinking, wait a minute, you've already been through that process. I've tried messaging Nick already and I don't get back from him right away. Okay. Here's the thing. I want to make sure I want to make sure that I remember to tell every single, or at least mention this. Imagine that you are the artist yourself. I don't care which one. When it comes to independent artists, just imagine you're in their shoes, okay? All of these guys are being noticed from every corner of the globe. Now, imagine what that's like, okay? Now, you're busy. I know that. I have a lot of faith in so many of you that you guys are so busy. It's either work or school. You feel like you don't have enough time to do everything at once or to be over there or you know what I mean. But these guys, they're getting pulled at every angle because, like I said, so many people are from around the world, all corners of the globe, are wanting something from these artists. So if I was in their shoes, I would most likely just choose a certain time of the week that I'm responding back to these messages because I don't have enough time. Think about it. Wouldn't you rather have your artist, the one that you're buying a mask from? Wouldn't you rather he or she's focusing on your mask right now than to be sitting around on, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Messenger all day? No, you'd want them to doing what they truly love doing, and that's obviously creating art. Whether it's making the mask, painting the mask, whatever. It's what they love doing. It's what they've been doing for years. You don't want them on their phones messaging all the time. If they did, then they would never get the work done. So seriously, you got to think about that perspective as well. Not to mention, these things aren't just, you're not getting your mask made at McDonald's. So it's not like you're going to get it in a few minutes anyways. So I just recommend being extremely patient and have a little bit of understanding and put yourself in their shoes, okay? Because before you know it, you're going to get that box at your front door or at your local post office. It will be there or wherever or over there before you know it. It will be here. I know we get excited. It's like Christmas all the time. I understand. Believe me, I truly do. So just remember to be patient on everything you do. Now back to what I was stating, because I think all this stuff is important. Make sure you write down everything on a pad or whatever you use as a tool to write down information as references. What kind of weathering do you want on this mask? Is there a certain scene in a movie that you want to look like that? The color of the hair. Do you want a stab wound in the neck? The size. Ask the artist, in this case Nick, what size is available, okay? Now, I chances are they're going to be different at certain times. I don't know. I don't make masks, but if I were to, when people ask me about the Castle 75K, I do know they're available at a medium size right now, and that's a very popular, very, very popular size when it comes to these masks. That's like a 24 and a half. So I'll answer that question for you right now. They're available in the medium size right now. And let's see, what else is there? Another one you want to ask yourself, as you're writing it down. Just try to make it as brief as possible. In other words, when you have a resume, you don't want to have your resume on 2 sheets. You really want to try to have it to where when you're going to that important interview, you don't want to bore the hell out of the guy who's interviewing or the woman who's interviewing. Okay, so make it brief. Okay, trust me, that could go a long way. Because, like I said, as we know, these artists are extremely busy. and they have a lot of respect for their new clients, their new customers, and you want to keep that good rapport with them, because like I said, you just got to imagine putting yourself in their shoes. Okay. I bet I've said okay at least a dozen times, if not 24 already. So I really hope that this answers your question. I mean, I'm being as honest as I possibly can about everything, about all those questions that were asked before. And don't feel bad, when you've asked me this recently. Don't feel bad if you've asked me this 6 months ago. How long did it take? Look, we all live in different parts of the world. Customs can be a funny thing. If you live in the same country Nick lives in, then obviously it's not going to take nearly as long. But with customs, we never know with them sometimes. So how long did it take to have it? Look, times are different now. When I first received that, Nick was probably not as busy as he is today. I know for a fact that young man, and yes, Nick, you are a young man if you are watching, he's busier today than he was 2 years ago. All of these artists, I'm busier. You are busier than you were 2 years ago. If not, then congratulations, but it will catch up with you. But yes, they're just busier. I think their craft is becoming more valuable around the world. So I believe in my heart that's why all these guys are so busy right now. So, but yes, you're going to have to communicate with them about everything, about the style, the colors, everything. I mean everything. Because there's certain information that I can't give out, okay? All that information that I can tell you is the link to how you find them and everything that I've told you right here, okay? So I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope that this answered your question. Yeah, you know what to do. Go to the description box to find all that information. Whether you want to subscribe, support, or simply get your next NAG mask. It's there. I'm telling you, it's right there. Right there. Just name it like a boat. That's right. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.